Let's focus on RPO and RTO. I'll first explain you RTO, recovery time objective, and then we will understand RPO also. We all probably have seen situation when there is a flat tire, right? So after a wheel failure, if you have a spare wheel, you may be able to replace the faulty wheel and you will be back on track again in few minutes. So if you had a spare wheel, if you prepared for situation when things go wrong, what I should be doing, and I know how to fix the how to replace the wheel, I would be able to go back on track in few minutes because I had prepared for the situation and I have skills to replace a faulty wheel. But in case my car does not have any spare wheel, in that case, I would have to wait for that wheel to get repaired. Either I would remove it, take it to a repair shop, get it fixed, or I would call a crew to help me out. It depends what situation it is. But probably if you do not have a spare wheel, then you would be able to recover in hours, not in minutes. Why? Because you have not prepared for it. Same thing applies for your business. So let's say your application was running fine. There was a disaster, application is not available. How soon you can recover and your customer can again access your application? So that is called RTO, how soon you can recover. That is considered as recovery time objective. Depending on your business, depending on your application priority, it could be minutes, it could be hours, it could be days, it could be weeks. It purely depends on what type of criticality that application has for your business. So it is a business driven decision you would take. Now, when you expect people that, okay, when you talk to some people and say what would be your RTO, expectation is that I would not be having any RTO. I should never be having my application down. I want a zero RTO. Can you achieve it? Yes, there are ways to achieve it, but then lot of cost is involved in that. So when you talk about RTO and RPO, you need to consider that how much money you are willing to invest or how much is the cost for implementing the solution you are looking for. So that is an important thing you have to think about. So this is RTO, recovery time objective. On the other hand, when I talk about RPO, recovery point objective, the very basic definition I could give is how much data you can afford to lose. Let me give an example to you. So let's say this is my application. And on this application, I perform backup every day, right? So every day, 10 p.m. I perform backup. So 10 p.m. Monday backup done, 10 p.m. Tuesday backup completed, 10 p.m. Wednesday backup was about to start. At 9:59, my application crashed and I have to recover it from the failed situation. So, all right, this had happened on Wednesday. Now I want to recover. The latest backup I have is from the Tuesday. So I would be recovering from that, which means I would have lost 24 hours worth of data, whatever has been accumulating after Tuesday backup till finally the Wednesday backup kicked in, that data is lost. If my backup frequency was not daily, but if it was hourly, then the data loss I would have would be 1 hour because I had backup at 9 a.m., 10 a.m., going on to 8 p.m. Then I had wake up at 9 p.m. Then I was supposed to take a backup at 10 p.m. But at 9:59 p.m. my application crashed and I have to recover. And that's why I have lost only 1 hour worth of data. So RPO is actually equivalent to what is your backup or retention frequency, how soon you are backup or replicating your data, and based on that, you would be able to recover. So that is called RPO, recovery point objective. So how much data will be lost when a disaster happens? That is what we mean. So if your backup frequency is your daily everyday 10 p.m., 24 hours, 1 day of RPO you have. If you are taking backup weekly, every Sunday 10 p.m., then you have 1 week worth of data loss which may incur. And then monthly you are taking the backup. Then if something goes wrong, you may have to you may have lost the whole month data. So that means by RPO, recovery point objective. Let's compare these two entities side by side. So when I talk about RPO, recovery point objective, focus of RPO is data loss prevention. I want to have less and less RPO. I want to have RPO of minutes or maybe of hours. So we are trying to minimize the data loss which may happen due to disaster. Whereas focus of RTO is whole business recovery, right? So disaster strike, and now I want to bring everything back on the system faster. That is what we mean by RTO. RPO depends on the backup frequency. How soon you are performing the backup. What is the frequency of your backup? Whereas RTO, that how you can recover your system. So let's say your system crashed and then you have a runbook or automation and you can rebuild the system maybe in 15 minutes or maybe in 1 hour. That is the speed of recovery is RTO. Now, RPO describes maximum data loss which may happen, and then RTO talks about maximum recovery time which you may require. Then how I should consider when to use what I should be my RPO and RTO. So how often your data changes. Is your data changing very frequently, like a financial transaction happening all the time? Or maybe I run a batch job. In that case, maybe my data changes on a specific interval or a schedule. So that depends what will be your RPO. Let's say it is a payroll system, you generate new payroll every month, which means probably you do not need to take backup of that system every day. When you generate new payroll, probably that time you have to take a backup. So again, it depends from your business to business. Whereas in RTO, how much downtime you can handle, right? Depending on your business consideration, how much effect it would have on your business, how critical the application is, you would decide and work from there. So I don't expect that every application in your organization would have the same RPO and RTO. There would be most critical application, there would be critical application, business critical, mission critical application, and based on that, your RPO RTO would be decided. So in a spectrum, probably you would have some few minutes of RPO RTO for the mission critical systems, whereas for other system it could be hours or it could be days also. It purely depends on your business criticality. So I hope this thing is clear. We'll talk about some of the recovery strategies into the next section. Thank you.